Hello friends, now we are going to see about what is living in biology. What forms of life we call it as living and what forms we call it as non-living. So coming to the biology, the science of studying living organisms we call it as biology. From the Greek, bios means life, logia means study of. So what does the biology will examine? Biology examines the structure, function, growth, origin, evolution, distribution, classification of all the living things. Five unifying principles are the foundation of modern biology is cell theory, how the cell has been formed. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of the living organisms, and also it defines all the cells has been came from the pre-existing cells. Right. Evolution, how the life has been come and all the organisms are being developed from their ancestors. How the adaptation, survival for the fittest, everything is being explained in evolution. Gene theory, nothing but hereditary basis of our evolution, everything is being done in gene theory. Energy, how the energy is being transferred from one organism to another organism and one form to another form is explained in a form of energy. Homeostasis, always maintaining the equilibrium in the body, so that we call it as homeostasis. All the organ systems will work for homeostasis. Homeo means same, stasis means standing still. Coming to what is life, there is not a clear cut definition of life. Some biologists may use different terms and still be discussing the same phenomena. So, currently, the biologists accept the following phenomena are all or mostly exhibited by the organisms. One is homeostasis, organization, metabolism, growth, adaptation, response to stimuli, reproduction, hereditary molecule, nothing but DNA. Coming to homeostasis. Living things adjust to their surroundings. Yeah, it's right. It is the regulation of internal environment to maintain a constant state. For example, to maintain the core body temperature, to maintain the blood pressure, to maintain the RBC, WBC, etc. Everything we have a mean point or set point in the body. Always, if these mean points or set points is being altered, we call it as abnormal. Or when we are diseased condition, these things will be altered. For example, body temperature they have given here with a picture. Coming to organization, the living things are organized, composed of one or more cells, nothing but the basic unit of life. So the living things are being majorly made of cells. It's a group of cells, we call it as tissues. Group of different types of tissues, we call it as organs. Group of different organs altogether will form a organ systems. Group of different organ systems will form a organism. Yeah, this all together we call it as organizations. Metabolism, which requires energy. Metabolism is nothing but sum of all the processes happening in the body, we call it as metabolism. Organisms respire and transform the energy. So, for example, we take the O2 and we will give the CO2. So, all this form is energy will be converted from one form to another form. Growth. So, coming to the growth and development, living things change over their lives, reproduce the cells, increasing in size of all its body parts. So, that none other than we call it as growth. It should be proper. For example, cancer is a growth, but that is not a proper growth. We have to be enhancing a proper size shape of an organ. So, organism as well as organism, all together only we will call it as growth. Adaptation. Living things will adapt. Change over time in response to environment is determined by organisms' population genetics, hereditary. Coming to response to stimuli. Response to stimuli often expressed by motion or movement. For example, geotropism, phototropism, and sneeze. Coming to reproduction, living things will reproduce, create a new individuals asexually and sexually. In asexual, no two partners is being involved. In sexually, both male and female partners are being involved. Coming to hereditary molecule, so DNA, which is the blueprint of the whole of our body. So DNA is the mechanism by which the traits are passed through the next generation. Fire, is it alive? No. Virus. Microscopically, they can reproduce inside the host cells. For example, influenza virus. So it is being seen under the transmission electron microscope. Okay. So yeah, virus is alive. Coming to bacteria, it is also alive because even though it is microscopic, unicellular can reproduce on its own. For example, Escherichia coli. Commonly we call it as E. coli. Under low temperature electron microscope, this would be the picture. Next, fungi. This is also alive, may be microscopic. Both unicellular and multicellular forms can reproduce on its own by asexual and sexual. Coming to plants, absolutely they are alive, maybe microscopically. Both unicellular or multicellular forms can reproduce by its own, both sexually or asexually, and there are microscopic, macroscopic, many different types of plants are there. Okay, thank you very much. Please do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel.